Didn't really mean to make a video today. Just out here doing some field work and having to notice that the new Westside Warhorse that came out a couple months ago in the hand happens to feel a lot like this Champion Destroyer that I just got. I normally wouldn't buy a Champion Destroyer. As most of you know, the Star ones are the popular ones. But I was at Cloudland Canyon. I'll give you a look at the stamp. Up in North Georgia, up in the far northwest corner of the state. They had these cool stamps, and I thought I'd remember my round where I got a ace on number 18 up there. And these guys, they feel kind of similar. Now, I've got a couple of Warhorses here. They are rated at 13.404. A Destroyer is normally 12.5, -1.3, if I remember correctly. But everyone says, oh, the Champ ones are less glidey and more stable. I don't like them. So, if it's less glidey and more stable, it ought to be pretty close to like a 12.404 in flight. I haven't really thrown either of these very much yet, and kind of want to see what happens. It's rainy, it's gross, I'm not really dressed for it, but let's see. That's the pink Warhorse. This is the 175, that's 173. We better throw it out. Let's see how the Destroyer does. Okay, so learned there, the Destroyer, one, it wasn't a very good throw. I torqued it over a little bit, but it also is not as overstable as I thought. This may actually fly closer to numbers because when I came across on a little bit of Annie right there, there's a little bit of wind kind of blowing from the side. It took it and just rolled. It rolled to about 375 feet, fairly straight, would have been a fine shot for a mess up. You could easily scramble from there, but the pink Warhorse went just short of 400 feet according to UDisc. Mixture of that made stepping it, and then the blue one was about 415, 420. Now that's not my max forehand distance, but for this style of very overstable stiletto enforcer ape type disc, that's about what I'm looking for. So pretty good right there. And these feel really, really good in a forehand grip. But let's see if I can do anything backhand with them at all. Big lollipop hyzers. Try the Destroyer now. Alright, so it's starting to rain out here. My footing's pretty bad, but the Destroyer went the furthest on the backhand throws. It was like 380, maybe a little more. The Warhorses were in the 360, 375 range. The blue one was a little longer than the pink. Honestly, that's pretty good for a very overstable distance driver like this. For me, I usually throw a king if I want to go over 400 backhand, and these are not even the same type of animal. I'll do one more throw before it starts raining too hard. And on the first one, I did a very like power Anheuser forehand type, like a Ricky Wysocki throw. On this last one, I'm going to do another sidearm, but more like a fluid Nate Sexton submarine type throw, and see if that favors one of the discs better than the other. Got a good feeling about the Destroyer with that one. Okay, so as you guys know, that style of forehand shot is not your max distance shot. I want to throw this pretty far, but I have to hit a spot. And both the war horses did that. They went in between 350 and 375. The blue one was longer, but the release wasn't really that good. And they were not really that heavy a fade for a very overstable disc, but it got where I wanted to distance-wise and just kind of died there. The Destroyer surprised me. It went closer to like 380, 385. Very similar to how I threw it backhand distance-wise, but maybe a touch further. I like this disc, but what it made me realize is this is a bad comparison. I was wrong. These are not even the same type of animal. Everyone knows what a Destroyer is. It's a glidey distance driver with good stability. The Warhorse is a meat hook. It's your power forehand, flex shot driver, headwind driver. The Warhorse is more like an Enforcer, Excalibur, something that you're going to keep in your bag situationally for most players, whereas this is a day-to-day workhorse for a lot of people. Now, I didn't think I liked the Champ, but it's pretty good as the rain starts to pick up a little bit more. I like it. Probably won't make my main bag, but I'll definitely keep it around as an alternate for the Star Destroyers I use in my Innova bag, because it went decently far for a Champ Destroyer, and after I beat it in a little bit, it may be cracking that 400-foot range for a backhand for me, so that's great. The more I feel them, the parting line, the overall wing height here is lower, the dome's higher. Everything should have pointed me to saying this is going to be more understable than you think, but the way the grip felt, I was like, that's very similar, but they're really not in practice. So I'm going to keep the Warhorse around for a little bit of my main bag as my overstable giant. I used to have a fluid, the dynamic disc one, Enforcer, fluid Enforcer. They don't make anymore in that slot as my more overstable giant, and I think this is perfect for that. As they beat in, I might even be able to replace some of my giants and just go straight King of Warhorse. I don't know, but I really like the feel, and I'm gonna keep playing with these guys a little bit. Thank you for watching. Hope you're drier than I am.